Because we know that, there's a certain threshold of wickedness that, this kingdom, or you may say Esau, Edom, has to obtain, and then boom, judgment's gonna come, man. A combo of judgments. Okay? The scriptures speak about how that, Babylon, aka America's sins, has to be reached unto heaven. You know what I'm saying? So we're at that time, bro. It can't get any worse than this. It will get worse than this, actually, but we're saying in the sense of 20 more years, 50 more years for Esau to keep doing his wickedness. No, man. The time is short now. He only has like a few more, you know what I'm saying? A few more months, years. As we're measuring the times. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing that this guy's time is short, man.
Yeah. And the Lord said he was going to accelerate the days.
Yeah.
And what are we seeing right now? We're seeing the WW3 coming to fruition, man. With these attacks upon Iran, Israel, and America fighting amongst another. That's all prophecy, man. Which was decreed by our Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, which is a prophecy of the end times which we're in, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
See, basically the Lord said, I'm fed up, man, now it's time, man. I'm not gonna endure this anymore. Okay? Now it's time to intervene. Because, you paraphrase the scripture, if the days were not shortened, we said what? No flesh will be saved, man.
Right.
So if the Lord just allowed Esau to do whatever he wants, the whole earth and everything that is therein is gonna die off, man. Because Esau is as death. Okay? He's not gonna stop with his wickedness, man. He's only gonna continue. It says what? How that, they search out iniquities, their counsel that they have is deep, man. So this guy has to be done away with, man. And we're looking forward to that, man. Okay? And some of us are gonna get to behold this devil, fall from his throne, man. And here it is, he's falling from his throne as we speak. Okay? That's it.
Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
Yeah, the soul of the just, the righteous, the innocent blood that Isha said of our people. Okay? They're crying out unto the Lord, man. And the time he's coming to the time where he's actually going to put his hands on the men of the Lord. Okay, scriptures speak about the men of the Lord being beheaded, those that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai. Right? Did not DJ Trump speak about bringing guillotines back?
Yes, he did.
So yeah, man, Esau's gonna come for the righteous blood, man. And those of us that die in this truth, hey, it's a glory. That's if your lot is to die in this truth, that's your way of glorifying Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, man. At the end of the day, you're gonna come back with him as one of the first fruits, one of those that get resurrected first, man. And you're gonna be up there, pleading the cause for your brothers too that's down here.
Yeah, if you're not in the mindset that you can die for this truth, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna make it, man. Yeah. You have to be mentally prepared to accept the fact that could be a reality, man. You gotta picture yourself in a guillotine, or whatever the case may be, man. Doing torture, whatever the case. Whatever the Lord has for you to glorify his name, man. Because guess what? Yahweh Shai endured that.
Yeah.
Yahweh Shai endured torture, man. And he took it as a lamb, as a sheep, in order to get that glory, in order to get that crown, man. But really, when you look at it in a spiritual sense, it's a short time of suffering for eternity of glory. So you got to look at it like that too. And every brother's not going to be going through that. The Lord said there be some standing here that shall not taste of death. There's going to be certain brothers that are going to have to go through that. But there's other brothers that are just going to be beamed up while they're alive. Okay? And they're going to have to stay in the fire through that too. Matter of fact, give me that where it said, in the twinkling of an eye, Go ahead, bro. You got something?
Yeah, real quick, just to back you up. This is Sirach 4 and verse 28, strive for the truth unto death,
That's right.
and the Lord shall fight.
Strive means to fight. So this is a fight.
Yes, sir.
You know, when you're feeling low and demons is attacking you, you know, that's all part of the battle. You know, it's the conditions of the battle, so you gotta push through that.
Yeah.
You know? And then as you push through that, you pray, you push through it, you get better. Yahweh Shai will build you up and make you stronger. Okay? So now those demons that you had before are nothing. You see? So now Satan got to 7 higher demons. Okay? And then, but while you're going through those training grounds, that's a training.
That's
Like
right.
I remember I used to watch those kung fu movies with my pops back in the day. Used to love those kung fu movies, old school VHS. And you know, the best kung fu movie was the one where the guy starts off as a little kid and he doesn't know anything, and then he's training, and then when he's a man, he's just the baddest dude out. Those were my favorite ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've seen him grow up, you've seen him start at a weak level and grow up to a super strong level. Well, that's us. Okay? If we're of the elect, we're gonna grow to that super strong level where we can withstand anything, including what's coming in Jacob's trouble, man. Go ahead, bro.
I got the definition of the word strive.
Go ahead, bro.
In the Google definition, it says strive means to devote serious, intense effort or energy towards a goal, often against difficulties. It implies persistent, vigorous struggle or competition to achieve something.
Hey, we gotta struggle, man. You know, a dude, and that's part of being a man too. You know, there's a saying where it says, you know, there's no one more miserable than a man who never goes through anything because he doesn't get to prove himself. We in this truth, we gotta prove ourselves, man. You know, sometimes you in a low state, you just gotta eat it and then dwell in that low state for a time period. You know, until Yahweh Shai shows you what he needs to show you, or he builds you up. Okay? Sometimes you have to dwell in it. Sometimes it's good for us. It's not happy. It's not fun. Oh, get me that where it says no chastisement, is it, for, you know, seems to be fun? Joyous. Right? But it's needful. Shit, if it was up to me, I would always have money in the bank account until the kingdom comes. I always have something to pay my bills and buy food at all times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know? I'll have my roster. You know? All lawfully. I'll deal with it all lawfully. You know? But it doesn't work that way. Okay? That's too easy. That's not going to teach me certain things that I need to learn.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's not that the Lord can't give you that at a particular time, but you need to learn what you need to learn first anyway, if you're going to get those things. Go ahead, brother. Slack it.
Okay, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse, I'll start at verse 7. I'll start at verse 6. It says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For a son is he whom the Father chasteneth none."
That's right. That's right. You know, you're dealing with your son. You care for him, right? So the Lord will care for us, take care of us, but we have to endure the sufferings. Go ahead.
But if ye be without chastisement, wherefore all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons.
Yeah. If you're not part of the chastisement, then you're really not a son of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, man. You know? That's it on that?
No, the book of Peter goes into how the chastisement is coming to the man, you know, of the Lord, you know. So we're all going through that to a particular form of chastisement, you know, for the perfection.
Oh yeah.
You know? Verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence, shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastening for the present time seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
Yeah, you become righteous. You become righteous through the chastisement, man. You know? That's it on that?
Yeah. So yeah, the point is, it's not comfortable at the moment. Going through the fire is not a comfortable experience, but it's beneficial, in the long run. You see, you go through practice. Practice is not supposed to be comfortable, man. It's supposed to push you to your limits, man, so that when the game time comes, you've been there already.
That's right.
Things just flow better,
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Well, you see them top athletes, top ball players, the ones that are real good, like, they go through two people, they do a move, they do two moves, they jump over a person, they just finger roll it in, they might drop on the floor, they get up like it's nothing to them, they just keep moving and they're just jogging. They look like they didn't even break a sweat.
Yeah.
Because they did it so much times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it just becomes instinct after a certain point. You're just moving instinctively.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what the Lord wants for us. He wants us to move through the hell instinctively in the spirit. Without being doubtful.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was on that.
Listen on that. Go ahead, bro.
This is Sirach 2 and verse 5. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity."
Break it down, bro.
Yeah, so like it says, acceptable men is tried in the furnace of adversity, man. So if you want to be acceptable in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he will try you in that furnace, man. And he's gonna check you out, check what's your mindset when you're in that fire. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna maintain your integrity, or are you gonna doubt? Which these things might happen, but it's a thing of you not letting it happen again once you get into that fire, man. It says what? A righteous man falls 7 times, but get it back up. So like the brothers were saying, right now this is the scrimmage, the practice. So you got to make sure you become endured and hardened. So when it's game time, which that game time is going to be when all hell's breaking loose. You know what I'm saying? So that you're on point, man.
That's right.
So that like the brother gave that analogy with the finger roll, you drop on the ground, you get back up like it's second nature, you're flowing through the motions. So that's how you have to be, man, becoming hardened. And that's how you're going to be acceptable in the eyes of the Lord, man. And the Lord set, multiple men in place as examples. The notable one is Yahushai, okay, of how he endured the cross. That's a notable example we have of how to conduct ourselves in that fire, man. And the other prophets, and our elders and apostles on down, that's in this day and age, man. They speak about, their stories of things they have to endure in the truth, man. And here it is, they're still pushing hard. So what's your excuse?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yahushai, how they were railing on him,
Right.
and how he was suffering, and he didn't revile back. He didn't say nothing back. He didn't, the way he was answering is like it was just another day in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Like thou sayest,
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you know if I could call down legions of angels if I wanted to?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't all messed up,
Right.
Oh, please, No, because he was trained for that. That's it on that?
Probably he replayed that multiple times in his mind, thinking about, being crucified, because he knew that he had to go through that hour of temptation, He went through and he prevailed, man.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yes, I'm
Go ahead, bro.
This is Hebrews 12 and verse 2. It says, "Looking unto Yahushai, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is sat down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh." So like I stated earlier, Yahushua is the notable example that we have to look unto, man. Because, he endured the cross. And another mindset you could apply when you're catching hell is that it's not for no reason. Ponder upon what you're catching this hell for. What? The kingdom, man. Even the apostle in the book of Acts said, what? Through much tribulation, we're going to enter into the kingdom, man. So at times, just think about the kingdom, how you're going to get to have joy forevermore. And how that this pleasant suffering, just for now, So I could take it, right? The Lord did say that whatsoever, is brought upon thee, I always make a way for you to escape. We always have these scriptures to fortify our mind, to make sure we're straight, man. And not crash out and faint in the day of adversity, man. Right? Scriptures say if you faint in the day of adversity, what? Your strength is small. So you have to gird your mind with these scriptures, man. That's what's going to keep you stable. And that's it.
Yeah, because the Lord's gonna put you in uncomfortable positions that you don't like being in.
Right.
Positions you don't like being in, embarrassments, shame.
Well, that's coming.
Different things that is coming is even now. Certain things you gotta go through, certain things. But he's doing that for a reason. These are all character building things, and also, adjustments you gotta make to not end up in those situations no more. That may be kind of hard for your particular personality. But if you don't want to keep going through the thing, you gotta make those adjustments, man. You got to. But
yeah, verse 3, it says, "For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds."
Right, because he was the unguilty, the sinless, yet accused of the sinful. So that's you gotta consider that. Like the brother brought out the First Peter. It says, "When he was reviled, he reviled not." Yahushua, he humbled himself. He put his whole trust in Yahweh, in Yahweh, put his whole trust in Yahweh. Just like we have to put our whole trust in Yahweh, okay? It says that's whereunto you were called. We're called to suffer unjustly. Be purified and just take it, man. Go through the fire and just take it. Yahushua set the path, man. That's the path that you have to take. That's the only path to receive salvation. To receive honor.
That's right. That's right.
The path of being humiliated, man.
Oh yeah. And it says before honor is humility. And we know we're not greater than the Lord. The scripture say the servant is not greater than his Lord, man. The things that Yahushua suffered, yeah, we're gonna suffer it too, man. But as a body, of course, because no man could endure what Yahushua did by himself. Because Yahushua was the only chosen spirit to have the walk that he had.
Regardless, we're still taking on that walk of Yahushua, that walk of suffering. Everybody has the specific suffering that they have to go through, which is a representation of the walk of Yahushua, which makes it his.
It's a representation. It's not the exact walk. It's the representation of the walk of Yahushua. You got your cross.
Yeah.
Yahushua had his cross.
Yeah.
Which was the heaviest. See?
Yeah.
Every brother has their own type of cross. You know what I'm saying? That's it on that?
Yeah, that's it.
I got one.
Oh, you got another one? Who's reading this now?
What does it mean?
Okay, let me jump over on this side.
Oh,
there's a little bit more. Okay,
It says, verse 4, it says, "Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin."
We haven't even been at the threat of death yet. We're really being trained for that.
That's right.
Brothers be bugging out, certain orders they get, they start lashing out. How they gonna deal with death? Certain things brothers get, certain situations brothers is in, they start, what do I do? The jab comes, what do I do? How you gonna deal with the chip? Huh? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Brothers, hey, how about Shemi Al Shai is training us up in the spirit, man. to have that mindset, man, to let go of the world, to hate our life, you know, in the sense that what that we're willing to give it up if it takes to get the kingdom. If that's what's needed to get the kingdom, if that's what's needed to gain Yahweh Shai, to glorify Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we're willing to do that. Okay? That's it on that? Okay. What you got on us?
Okay, real quick. In the book of First Peter 3:17 in the New Living Translation, remember, it is better to suffer for doing good, if that is what Yahweh Shai wants, than to suffer for doing wrong.
Yeah. So we'll break it down, bro.
Well, if Yahweh Shai, if we suffer right now, there's a precept that say that if we suffer right now, it's because He don't want us to suffer with the rest of the people later. You know.
Yeah, get that. Get what he's talking about.
Oh yeah,
Shabbat. What he's talking about. Well, that's it you have to say?
Yeah, that's what that's.
Okay. Go ahead, you have nothing? Okay, read what you got.
All right, this is Luke 14:27. And whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
Wow.
Yeah, if you don't bear it, look at that word bear. The word bear, man. Everything we go through in this life is bearing the cross, man. You know?
Wow.
Which was yesterday, was it last week? Yeah, you said, speaking of referring to Paul, that's his glory. You know, the cross is part of your glory. That's your suffering. That's your
You can boast in it.
Yeah.
You can boast in that. You can glory in that. Yeah. He said we glory in our infirmities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Paul said that. Yeah.
He said you were a servant of Yahweh Shai, I more. You know? Then he lists out the things that he's been through this, been through that. You gotta shut up when you hear that.
Yeah.
No, you know, one time I lost my job. Nobody want to hear that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody want to hear that shit. You hear what Paul was saying to you?
Yeah, he wore that. He took that. And if you don't take that, that's like rejecting Yahweh Shai. It's rejecting the sufferings of Yahweh Shai, which makes you not worthy. Makes you not one of His.
Go ahead, bro.
The word doth bear, it says bastazo, okay, in the Greek, perhaps remotely derived from the base of, okay, the idea of removal. So, to take up with the hands, to take up in order, to carry or bear, to put upon oneself, something to be
That's
carried,
my phone.
to bear what is burdensome.
To bear what is burdensome.
Mm-hmm.
To bear what is burdensome, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Go ahead.
To sustain, uphold, support. The parable says this is the cares of this life, or
Look up the word bear. Look at the word bear. B-A-R-E.
oh, you went to Google.
No, I don't. I didn't. I wanted there, but it kind of gave you the same word within the definition.
When the parable of when it says basically the guy coming in the truth is too much for him.
Yes.
So he forsakes it, you know.
Couldn't bear it.
He couldn't bear it.
Couldn't bear it. Matter of fact, you could even get that too.
Okay.
But I think that was it on the definition.
Let me see. It was yeah, I think that's it. To lift, carry, take up. Yeah. Oh, it says figuratively endure,
That's right.
declare, sustain, receive.
Yeah. You know what does it mean to endure? We always speak about it. It means to be hardened. All right. So as you're going through these things, what's happening? You're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So that you go through similar situations, it's like whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever. You know what I mean? Okay, you have the definition for bear?
No.
B, or that's what we're
It's B-A-R-E.
Yeah.
Give me two. It says bear, the verb B-E-A-R, says to carry, support, endure, or produce. And then the adjective B-A-R-E to uncover, expose, or naked.
There to carry, to support, okay? You know? So that, you know, go to the cross, see what it says when it says to the cross, see what it says on the cross. You know, because what you're bearing is these afflictions, sufferings, you know? That's what you have to carry with you. You gotta deal with that. You know? And if you're carrying it, it stays with you. You know? You can't do nothing about it. And you know how people try to throw it off of them? They try to go back into the world.
Yeah.
That's how they try to throw the cross off of them. Going back into the world. That's it on that? Sit on that, Shaquat?
Oh yeah, come.
Okay.
Yeah, so the word cross, okay, is storos. It says a cross. Okay, it says a well-known instrument of most cruel and ignominious punishment. It says a pole, a cross, as an instrument of capital punishment, figuratively exposure to death, self-denial, by implication, the atonement of Yahweh.
Self-denial. It represents self-denial. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, because as you're going through, if you're taking on that suffering,
Yes.
you're denying yourself, your flesh,
Yes.
what you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Pretty sure.
You got it? Okay.
Mark 8:34. Anyone? Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Mark 8:34. And when he called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me.
And break that down, Shaquat.
Yeah. So like the brother said, you know, if you're gonna come after, if you're gonna follow Yahweh Shai, what's acceptable is for you to deny yourself. You know, and take up your cross, man. Being bear the burdens, you know, and follow Yahweh Shai.
Sure.
You gotta show your scarf. It remind me when even the guys in the world, you know, they do that, you know. Oh, I got this scarf. I went through a lot of things, you know. Scarf. Flag, you know. So, you know, through suffering, you know, you get better, you know, like.
Speak about the gun battles they've been in.
Yeah.
I got war wounds.
I got war wounds, you know.
Whatever, man. But yeah, you know, you translate that to the truth, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, they've been through their things, they get their glory, but our glory is true glory from what? From suffering for Yahweh.
Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so I found our parables, Matthew 13 and verse 20. But he that received the seed into stony places, it says here, the same is he that heareth the word and anon with joy receiveth it, yet hath no root in himself, but dureth for a while. And when tribulation or persecution ariseth, which is the bearing the cross, because of the word, by and by he is offended.
He's offended, man.
Yeah.
So what does he do? He casts it off him, man. Nah, man, I'm going back in the world, man.
Wow.
Where things are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Comfortability, man. That's not a good thing in this time like that. Like, you know? Comfortability, you know, you can't be too comfortable. Being too comfortable ain't good, man. Being too comfortable, man, these people in the West all fucked up in the head because of the comforts of the West.
Yeah.
You know, the Uber Eats, the driving everywhere, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even walking. That's why people are all obese and their knees hurt, you know? Because they're not even fucking walking, bro. You know? Bought me a bus pass, a thing pass. I'm taking a metro every day, pretty much. Almost taking a metro. Boom, boom, boom. Not walking to the gym. You know? I'm trying to get them steps in, man. Because you look at how it was back in the day, that was nothing. And then go look at the images and the videos of people back in the 90s. You didn't see no fat jakes. All the women were thin. They were all thin, man. Like Aaliyah. And see how they're all thin like that.
Wow.
You know, if you had a little bump on the bum, that was, oh, she got a fat ass, yo. Now it gotta be some crazy colossal BBW, you know, not BBW, the BBL looking, you know? You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, she light skinned and you ain't gonna care. But anyway, you know, so the BBL looking thing, you need some crazy looking thing, right? But back then, everyone was thin because what, they were walking, when they went to the grocery stores, they had the two, and they had the bags like that, the paper bags.
Yeah.
Now we get the bag, we complain, they got that paper bag. Where's the one with the handles?
Mhm.
But that was how it always used to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? And they was grabbing those two bags, they would walk fucking 6 miles with them damn
That's right.
bags.
That's right.
Right? Back to the house. No wonder they were fit. But that comfort. And then you sit down and you don't want to go nowhere. And then, you know, and then you got brothers lazy, man. You got brothers lazy, man. You tell brothers to go somewhere, and it's like you're taking nails out of their fucking hand to go somewhere, man. Oh, maybe I'll do it, man. It's like shit, man. Like the brother just hibernates all day, man. You know? But well, we have to get out of that spirit. That's the West that did that shit to us, man. You know? That's the West that did that shit to us, man. You know? Or something like, oh, I gotta cook, but you know what? I'm in such a routine of cooking and doing my thing now that it's just normal now. I always say that the 30 days, man, once you start doing something for 30 days, it starts to become a habit to you. That's what you always want. You want to hit that 30-day mark. You know? That's what you need to do, man. You know? Matter of fact, give me the scripture on the sluggard. Give me some scriptures on the sluggard, man. We can't be in no sluggard spirit, man. You know? The Lord speaks against that, man. You know? Anyways, let me know when you have that, brother, and read that. Because that whole shit, man, man. This world has messed Jake's mind up on such a level, man. It's not even funny, man. Anyways, you know. You got something?
I got something.
Bring it on out.
This is Proverbs 6 in verse 6. It says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise,
Yeah.
which have no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep?"
So guess what? They gather their food, they're working, moving, and what? They always have food in the winter. So they're always taking care because they already prepared themselves. They weren't lazy. They're ready to make their moves. You know? So when you get that spirit of that lethargic spirit, that's a demon.
Mm-hmm.
That's a demon.
That's
man.
right. That's right.
And we gotta fight that demon to say, no, I gotta do what I gotta do, man. All right? Because eventually, it may not be right away where there's suffering that is attached to it, but eventually, it's gonna come a period like it catches up to you.
Yeah.
You're like, shit. If I would have got that from then, I would have at least probably had that now. You know? Go ahead.
It says, "Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of their hands to sleep,
Yeah.
so shall they."
Oh, yeah, that's it. A little sleep. Okay, one day next day I'm gonna chill.
Yep.
A little sleep, you know, and then that's it. Now you complete sleep. You know, that's too late now.
That's a week. You missed a week worth of money.
Yeah,
A week worth of provisions.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a demon.
After a month and a half, you missed a
Right,
week
right.
worth of provisions.
Right.
So now you're a week behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're struggling to get rent. Now you're struggling to get this. Now you're struggling to get that. Granted, things happen.
Yeah.
Right? But some things is us. We gotta understand some things is our nature that fucks shit up. You know? So we can't always just blame Satan all the time. Sometimes say, I didn't do nothing. Sit there, what did I do? I didn't do shit.
You're a false witness.
You're very false. You're very false witness against Satan. Say, look what I do.
But that goes into also examining yourself. Like, nah, somebody gotta look. No, I'm the one that messed up.
That's true.
Yeah.
Accountability.
Accountability.
Yeah, accountability.
See, but that's the first step.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Lord can deal with a brother like that. That's gonna do what? That's gonna say, okay, you know what? I got to change, because there's always that. There's always that. No matter what, you're in this truth. There's always gonna be a level of that. I could do better at this. I could do better at that. You know. But we don't want to be going through the same cycle in our life.
That's right, yeah.
You know. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it says, verse 10, yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that traveleth.
And the thing is, the Yahweh, man, I call in the Yahweh Shemel Shai. Yahweh Shemel Shai is so beautiful that he'll give you all kind of opportunity. He'll throw it in your face. Here. And then you, playing games, thinking it's always gonna be there.
Right.
You know? When we read about seize the opportunity,
Yeah.
we gotta go, gotta grab that, man.
Right.
Strike while the iron's hot, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it says, so
Hold on, that's what Jacob did with the blessing,
Yeah.
right? With Rachel, Rebecca, right? His mother. She said, oh, okay, go do that now. He had to strike with the iron's hot. He couldn't wait it for it.
Yeah.
There was only one blessing to be given, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yo, bro.
We would have got the blessing of the sword.
Yeah,
We would have been left with the blessing of the sword.
it's true.
Yo,
Huh?
yo.
If he didn't take that, we would have been out there, bomb them, you know? Tripping, trying to get back to birthright. Nah, man. So we gotta perceive these things, man,
Yeah.
in the spirit, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
it says, verse 11, so shall thy poverty come as one that.
And you know what's so funny about it is that once you do it, you feel good.
Yeah.
Right.
I got it done. But the demon is before.
Yeah.
After you do it, you're happy. Like, you know what? That's good, bro. It's a good thing I did that. Go ahead, bro.
I think there's a scripture that speaks about how that, you know, when you work for something, you know, afterwards you enjoy yourself or something like that. You know,
Ecclesiastes.
yeah, I think it's in Ecclesiastes, yeah. You know,
Yeah,
when you put that sweat, that hard work, you
Yeah.
know, and you feel like if you want to rest, like you deserve it because you actually did some shit, you know. Not
That's
something you
right.
did work.
Break it down, break
If
it
you didn't
down.
do anything, then you just there, you don't feel right, bro. You know, even as you're resting, like, nah, no, man. You know, I feel like I should have been doing something with my day, you know?
Yep.
That's
Feel
part of-
useless.
Yeah, that's part of observing the opportunity, you know?
But like I said, it's part of this. It's part of us, the toxicity of the society that we have to get out.
Yeah.
You know. Go ahead. Listen.
Yeah.
And then brothers be sitting and brothers don't be even doing a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
At least you could have got a lesson in or two.
Yeah.
You know. Go ahead, bro.
It says, so, verse 11, so shall thy poverty come as one that traveleth, and thy want as an armed man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The want, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, lack because of what? Because of being a sluggard, man. Right? Like I said, sometimes things happen where, you know, but then there's a lot of times when it's actually us. You know?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, it is, I am sure. And the law, it says if you have a, you know, wicked and slothful servant, you know, it's supposed to be put, you know, stoned, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how, within our...
Servant?
No, not like,
Son.
son.
Son, you said servant.
I said, oh, Salakia, slip of the tongue. I meant to say son, but that shows you the importance of, you know, how in our culture wasn't, you know, we have no lazy person around just, you know, kicking it.
There's a law.
You know, it's a law, you know. You get stoned if that happens, man. You know?
If you live in pleasure, because it said a drunkard. My son is a.
He was a drunkard.
Yeah.
That's
all
true.
All he's doing is just.
Matter of fact,
Yo.
no. You know, speak, brother. Speak.
I'll get it.
Behind you get it. Yeah. Speak.
Yeah. You know, so that's what it is. You know, it's actually a law to not be lazy, pretty much, and not live in comfort. Versus now, you know, that shows you Esau's kingdom is off too because he promotes comfort, living. You know.
But the thing is, comfort is not wicked. It's the balance of
the
it.
amount of it. Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be a particular balance of comfort with the hard work.
Yeah.
Has to make sense though. This place is oversaturated with comfort. It's oversaturated, man.
Yeah.
And he's eating. You can watch these Edomites. That's how they live.
Yeah.
They don't cook. My grandma always said the Edomite woman she knew they never cooked.
Oh no. Okay.
They didn't cook. Even back in the days when she came over here.
Wow.
Okay? They would buy the
Yeah,
restaurant
mostly, yeah, that's true.
shit.
Take
Even
out.
now they go to the IGA to get that chicken.
It's garbage, man.
And this shit's trash. Hot, you know? Trash. I see one today. I seen a bunch of them today grabbing their little chicken. I said, yo, you should feel ashamed of yourself, man. That's what you're feeding your family? But they can't because their whole thing is comfort.
Mm-hmm.
What really?
Done. This is Deuteronomy 21 and
Matter of fact, look at the etymology of the word comfort. Look at the etymology of the word comfort. We look up words here at Great Millstone, man. Go ahead, bro.
even with that chicken, at least when Jake buys it, they try to season it a little bit. You
Ah.
know what I'm saying? Put a little taste to it.
The remixer, the great remixer.
This is Deuteronomy 21 and verse 18. It says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them.
Oh, hold on, Salaka. Go to the one in Ecclesiasticus. I think it's 18. It says, give yourself to your pleasures, you'll be a laughing stock to your enemies. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, and bring him out unto the elders of the city, and unto the gate of the place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious, and will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shall thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall...
Read that again, the other part.
Okay. It says...
What he was going to his death.
Verse 20, it says, and they shall say unto the elders of the city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious.
Yeah, because the parents probably gave him counsel, go do this, go work, go get a job, you know, in today's case, go get a job, go do something, but he wasn't listening, which made him rebellious and stubborn.
Right, they beat him too.
Yeah, they beat him too.
Yeah.
They beat his ass too. Go ahead.
It says, he will not...
Before they put him to death, they
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
give him some licks. A lot of licks. Go ahead.
It says, he will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard.
Vagabond.
Vagabond. It says, and all the men of
A
his...
glutton, hold on, glutton.
Yep.
Right? Overeating. You know? Go ahead.
And a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shall thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. Yeah. So I just wanted to say, because that son is basically a waste of space, man. You know, that's a seed that's not profitable. Because here it is, when you had sons and daughters, they're supposed to help the family. Because a family was a business back then, right? Whatever business that you were into, you had your son. He will come into that family business and help you with it. And then later on, if he's the firstborn, whatnot, you pass down that business unto him. But here it is, if he's here, he's not doing jack shit, eating up all the food, drinking all the liquor, you know what I'm saying? And he's just a waste of space and a waste of resources. You know, and then here it is, you told him multiple and multiple times, yo, get right, man, yo, lock in, you know what I'm saying? Go feed the cattle, or go tilt the land. And he's like, I don't have time, I'm tired. You know? Waking up from a hangover or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not being profitable to you, man.
Right.
You know, so hey, that's why you put him to death, and that way you take that evil away, man.
That's
Because
right.
let's say if he has siblings, he could influence the siblings too, man, to have that same spirit. You know, and then the kids come to you, oh, how come he never gets to go and work, and then he's just here eating and drinking and not doing shit. You know, that's gonna carry. They're gonna see that, and then they're gonna want to do the same thing too.
Yeah.
You know, so if you put them to death, that's gonna be an example. See what happens when you do that? Then they're gonna lock in, but they're gonna get in the field.
Extra hard.
Yeah, I'm saying before the sun comes out, but they're already, they're already there, bro. Yeah, I finished. Yeah,
Breaking through rock.
yeah, bro. That's what it does, man. You know, puts that evil away.
I'm gonna say it's working hard today.
Whoa. That's it, bro. You know, it's a great motivator, man. Seeing judgment, it gets you in the right path, man.
Right.
You know, because you don't want that same thing to happen to you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. If I may add, it reminds me of that the show that in our customs, it was like you said, the family business or young children would be doing something. You know, King David, he brought food to his brothers. You know, and he was taking care of the sheep.
Yeah.
So he was doing things. Like he wasn't just like
Sitting around playing video games.
yeah. He
That's
did
what
what
they
he
do.
was doing.
Yeah.
That's that comfort.
Yeah.
You know? See, even when we were young, we didn't just fucking sit around playing fucking video games. You know, it was in my spirit to do fucking chores. You know, I knew my spirit. I knew I was supposed to be a servant to my parents. My spirit, my mom would do things. I said, "Oh, let me clean something." Let me do something. I used to ask,
Oh,
and then my mother trying to be a new age mom.
yeah.
No, it's okay.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, you know what she did?
Yeah.
She said, oh, okay, go clean the toilet. And then I repented. No, because you say that to fuck with me. You know, like, don't give me the most disgusting job to do. This and that, you know? Right? But, you know, you clean your room and shit like that. But then you kind of felt like you should do more. You see her doing it, I should do this and that. Because in your spirit, sometimes she tell me wash the dishes or whatever, But you do it because you know that's what you're supposed to be doing for your parents. These kids nowadays, they ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
A lot of them is sitting in front of fucking TV playing video games, man. All matters in the night. That's not natural. Okay, that was it. You go, Rick.
I'm trying to mix up what you said with this precept in Matthew 7:19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into fire. Cut.
hewn down,
Okay.
Cast into the fire, man. Yeah, so hey, that's an example of not bringing forth good fruit. You're just flipping lazy.
Yeah.
You're drunkard, gluttonous, not profitable, man. You know? It's okay to eat after you did a long day's work.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you burned off a lot of calories doing that work. So when you eat, you're refueling the calories back in your body. If you didn't do nothing all fucking day, you're eating and eating, what are you replenishing? Okay, that's it on that. You got the comfort. Go ahead.
Says here the word comfort, feeling of relief in affliction or sorrow, solace, consolation, as till in take comfort, also source of alleviation or relief from old French confort, consolation, solace, pleasure, enjoyment.
Pleasure. Here's that word pleasure. Okay, go ahead.
Right? So like the scriptures say, what she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Now that doesn't only apply to the woman, but everybody.
That's right.
If you're living in pleasure 24/7, man, hey, that's death, bro.
Yeah, that's a good precept.
No discomforts, no hardship. That's not good, man.
Yeah.
Like we're going into in this lesson.
Yeah, this precept is not only for Cardi B, right?
No, it's for everybody.
Listen on that.
Enjoyment from conforter to solace to help to strengthen. An old English word in the same sense was for, meaning state of enjoyment resulting from satisfaction of bodily wants and freedom from anxiety. It says here strength, support, encouragement.
You think about that Israel when Moses went up to the
That's why they
mountain.
went those
When they went up to play. Right? That's all Jake thinks about, playing and partying.
Yeah.
You ever been to the fucking Caribbean? You go to the Caribbean, and them niggas can have a 24. Bro, when I went to Barbados one time, at first, they had a flipping, in the movie theater, they were having a party in the movie theater. It's like you go to the movie theater, the Scotia Bank, there was a literal party in the movie theater, brother. You go to the movie, you listen to the movie, and it was free. Once you pay, you can go to any movie. Go to the movie,
Okay.
you watch the movie, come outside, yeah, party, party, and they're all dancing and shit. I said, yo, these people are fucking crazy. Jake is crazy. Jake knows how to fucking party. That's all Jake knows how to do.
Yeah.
Is have fun and enjoy. But to do righteousness, Jake don't know what to do at all. You know? That's it on that?
That's what you said.
Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 21:17. He who loves his pleasure will become poor.
Woo! He that loveth pleasure will become poor. So you gotta have a strict container, right? Container means to control the pleasure that you have.
Yeah.
You have to, man.
Yeah.
You know? I said, yo, I didn't wanna, I was like, yo, man, I usually have my, like, maybe my one day a week I would drink my yayan. And I said, yo, I gotta cut that out.
Mm.
Cause I gotta hit my goals. So I can't, if it's fucking my goals, I gotta cut it out. I don't know, 2 months or what, I don't know. I gotta see what I can do. You know what I'm saying? I wanna drink that yayan, brother. I'm fighting against my own flesh for sure.
Yeah.
I want a little bit of that comfort to drink that yayan. Right? I ain't dealing with no woman, I ain't doing I want that little comfort to drink that yayan.
Mm-hmm.
I said, fuck, I gotta reach my goals. I gotta get to a fit fucking weight. Fuck all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm drinking the fucking, eating the protein shit. The goddamn Greek yogurt. So you just seen, this is Greek yogurt right here. This is Greek yogurt. Right? And calculating exactly what I'm supposed to eat. And today I was feeling famished and weak, and I was like, yeah, you know, that's how I felt when I got in shape last time. I was feeling this way. I was feeling kind of like empty, like kind of like I was hungry, constantly, like kind of like, you know, weak.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, yeah, but you know why? Because that's the calorie deficit. You gotta be in that calorie deficit for real. And then less carbs. When you get less carbs too, not enough carbs, sometimes you feel like that. But that's what's necessary to get where I have to go. It's not an easy thing. Right? But read that again.
Yep. Okay, this is Proverbs 21:17. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich.
Right. So, but if you don't discipline yourself in these type of ways, we're not gonna reach where we need to reach, right? Because even when you're doing a business, you gotta be disciplined with the money you're spending. You gotta put certain money aside for the business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't just take them, okay, I'll just profit. Oh, yeah. You know?
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
to the strip club. No.
Yeah.
You gotta chill the fuck out. Put things aside, put things aside, put things aside to build up. Right? For the next part to grow, to grow, to grow, to grow, to grow. And then you could get to a point where you say, okay, now let's take a little something aside. And we could do a little something, something. Right? That's the mindset you have to have. You know? Read that whole thing again. Okay, let's speak.
Real quick, because the Lord can do that. He can bless you. He can bless you in a season, and then the next season will be not as much. Like Joseph with Pharaoh, it was a blessing, it was a 7-year blessing.
That's right.
And then depending on how you deal with that 7-year blessing, the next 7 years,
Wow.
you know, so that can happen too.
Wow.
The Lord can bless you in a certain season, but the next season,
Damn.
it's gonna be a deficit. You know,
Imagine that I just ate all
the
the
whole
food.
thing. Like, what are you gonna do the next 7 years?
Yeah.
Wow. That's wisdom.
Yeah, that's wisdom to preserve.
That's wisdom, man. You gotta think like that. Oh, well, we're coming to a time where it might be famine. Well, not maybe, there's gonna be a famine.
Yes.
So we gotta move wisely too.
Yeah.
You know? Yahweh Shah will provide, but we also gotta use wisdom too. You know? So, that's it on that?
No, yeah, just to add to that precept too, because what's it called? Pleasure is expensive.
Oh, yes, it is.
So for you have, you know, to put it in the modern day sense, right? You know, people go out, you know what I'm saying, whatever, Friday night, Saturday night, you go out, it's expensive, man. You know,
Wow.
to buy them shots, you know what I'm saying? And people in the world, they be buying bottles and shit, you know, you hear the amount they spent for that one night, you're like, goddamn whole paycheck. You know, just for a few hours of pleasure and wake up the next day through.
They do that.
You know? Bro, they be spending like 400, you know what I'm saying, 500,
They do that.
some of them for 1K.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
the fuck? Yo. And that's people with like regular 9-to-5 jobs. They're
Yeah.
not even balling like that, bro.
I know.
And I'm just like, what the fuck?
I
You know?
had one Simeonite tell me, when you go out with a girl, you gotta spend minimum 400.
Oh,
Yo.
I looked at her like, yo, just cut my hair.
What?
No, I serious, Poppy, I serious. I was Simeon was bugged out, tried.
Yeah, man, it's expensive,
Simeon
bro.
lovely, man.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go take a walk in the
He
park.
said 400 minimum, brother. I looked at him like, this guy's crazy. Nuts. But anyways, but yeah, go ahead. But hey, but it said don't not to be rich, right? Hey, you may not want to be rich, but you don't want to be poor, right?
No.
So you still gotta fucking
Manage your money.
manage that shit
yeah.
and put a container over the pleasures, right? You don't want to be a damn. Oh, there's a word for it, man. There's a word for it, man. If I could find that word, I think I had it in my notes. Go ahead, read that whole thing again.
Okay, so this is Proverbs 21 and verse 17. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. Yeah, brothers want to add on to that? I got an
Yeah,
example.
yeah, I give the example, you know, if you live in that pleasure, you're not gonna have bread, man. You know, you're constantly gonna be living off of debt or chasing the next paycheck, man. To you know, sustain your needs. And some people, they say fuck their needs. They just say, I need that pleasure. And the first thing when they get that check, you know, they go and ball out, man. To
That's
get
these
pleasure.
women, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do, bro. You know, so that's not wise, man.
Yeah.
This woman.
And another thing, these people that love pleasure, they're never satisfied. Because you always want to chase the next high. You know what I mean by next high, the next pleasure. You know? It always keeps you in a state of chasing. You're never satisfied. That's not good, man. Eventually you're gonna crash. You know? But I have a precept on according to provision. The brother Shapar brought a point. This is Acts 11 and 27. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch. And there stood up one of them named Agabus, and signified by the Spirit that there should be great dearth throughout all the
Hold
world.
on, read that again. Read hold on.
Okay.
This is the word I was looking for. Asceticism. I was looking up a particular scripture that was written to Timothy about taking a little wine for that stomach sake. Don't drink too much water, because Timothy was on some super discipline stuff, right? So Paul said, "Listen, man, drink some wine, you know, your stomach sake and your infirmities, and we just drinking water all the time, right?" Because Timothy was on some super discipline. The word asceticism says severe self-discipline and avoidance of all form of indulgence, typically for religious reasons. You don't want to be too deep where it's like,
No.
yeah. Where you're doing too much where you ain't getting nothing
That's right.
to balance yourself
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But most of the time, that's not Jake's problem.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the problem is too much goddamn pleasure.
The opposite.
That's what you need to fucking calm down on. You know? But you got a few people that are like that, a few brothers that are like that. They may be too deep into the robotic lifestyle. Nope, I won't enjoy nothing. I'm living a stoic life. You know? And the brother may need to loosen a bit,
Yeah.
man.
That's a false balance.
Huh? There's a balance.
It's a false balance.
It's a false balance.
Yeah.
right? But most of the time, like I said, Jake is mostly dealing with that pleasure demon.
Yeah.
You know? Go ahead.
Okay, just a quick point. Acts 11 and verse 27. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch, and there stood up one of them named Agabus, and signified by the Spirit.
And there's going to be less pleasure. There's supposed to be less pleasure. It's not a place of pleasure. There's going to be less pleasure.
Yeah, like as we move on to the deliverance. Is that what you mean?
And right now, period. Right now, we're in captivity, man. This is not a time for too much pleasure, man. It's a time for, discipline and
That's right.
serving Yahweh Shem Yahweh
That's
Shai,
right. That's right.
in the right way.
Yeah.
The pleasure is, that's like I say, you got to put that container,
Right.
and that's the best way to have it. Because that way you can grow in the ways that matter.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Ezekiel said, shall we then make mirth? But even I'm thinking about when Elisha, his servant wanted
Gold.
wanted the goods from, because Elisha refused it,
He had a piece of gold.
and then he forgot the servant. He basically went after the goods that the there's a particular, I believe it was a servant of the prince or something. Forgive me for paraphrasing. But then Elisha, when he came back to Naaman, Elisha said, "Was not my spirit with you? Did not follow you?"
Mm-hmm.
And he told him basically, "Are we in a time to accumulating riches and doing this? Basically living in pleasure. Are we in a time for that?
Yeah.
So there's a time for everything.
That's right.
It's in the book of 2 Kings.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right? Yeah, so
Matthew 9:14. Then came to him the disciples of John, saying, Why do we and the Pharisees fast oft, but thy disciples fast not? And Yahushua said unto them, Can the children of the bride chamber mourn, as long as the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken from them, and then shall they fast. Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so I brought that out. There's a season to things. And right now, we're not in the season of pretty much pleasures and joy and mirth, because we're in captivity, like you said, Yahushua's not, kingdom is not established, so we can't be comfortable here. And comfort comes with pleasure,
Right.
But this is a time where we fast, we pray, It's a time to mourn, because you're in captivity. But the time will come when we're gonna have fun, so to speak, in the kingdom.
Yeah, that's right. It remind me of that scripture. Yeah, in the Lord, there's pleasure forevermore.
Yeah,
so He's going to teach us really what's pleasure for real. We know
That's real.
the right way.
So right now we're in the time of teaching, morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're in the time of morning. So morning right now. That's right. Yeah, we got sackcloth.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So I got that Sirach 18.
Yeah, what?
Verse 30. Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites.
Refrain yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the containers. You have to control and contain. Even the things that you want to do, that's true discipline. When you stop doing the things you want to do, Go ahead.
It says,
Because it's not that hard to do it if you don't like it anyway. Right? But if you like it and you stop it, that's the hard one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
verse 31, if thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies that malign thee.
Yeah, right. That's right. Because what you're gonna be, if you constantly giving yourself to your pleasures, you're gonna be fucking fat, a drunkard, a loser, a lustful thirst bucket.
Yes,
Everything bad.
Yeah.
Everything bad. Everything bad. You be thirsty, glutton, everything. Because you're giving yourself to that pleasure. But if you constantly control that, then what? You're gonna go places, man. That's how it goes, man. Go ahead.
Galatians 5:24, in the GMT. And those who belong to Hamashiach Yahushai have put to death their human nature with all its passions and desires. The Spirit has given us life. He must also control our lives. We must not be proud or irritate one another or be jealous of one another. And the point was that if you belong to Yahushai, that means that you crucified. That means that you put aside your own desires, your passions. As we went into bearing your cross, putting the self aside. Okay, you belong to Yahushai. That means that you will fulfill His will. Okay, you fulfill the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. And of course, there's a balance to it. But again, you have to seek the kingdom first. So again, you're seeking the spiritual over the carnal.
Yeah. I got some. This is Jeremiah 6 and verse 16. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein." So the old way is the better way, man. You know, the ancient way, the ways of our forefathers. That's the best way. You know, if you truly want to find rest, like the scriptures say, to find rest for your souls, you gotta go back to how did my forefathers do it?
Right.
How did they, you know, how was their life like? Like we're going into walking more often rather than, you know, driving all the time, being stationary. Because you look at the creation, it says in Genesis that the Most High made the moving creature.
Right.
You know, so we're supposed to be moving. You know, not supposed to be standing, just sitting. That's what leads to, back problems.
Yep.
You know, certain diseases and whatnot. Because you're not moving, man.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be in motion.
Yeah.
So that's an example of you looking, for the old path, man. You know, because that's the good way. This new gen shit, it's not working. It's not it, man.
The diet that they had,
Yeah.
right? You look at how did they eat? You know, was it usually the same sort of meals?
Right.
Similar meals every day, or what did they do? Did they add certain things to have the full nutrients? Because lentils have a lot of different nutrients in it. Lentils is very nutrient dense.
That's true.
You know, barley, that's good for the digestion and all that. Okay. So all these different things that we used to eat, man, you gotta try to get back to that. That's our diet, man. You know? And then, speaking of pleasures, we had our holy days of pleasure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There was other times when Jake had fun here and there too. But were they fucking going out every weekend?
Season.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Was it every weekend? Not necessarily, not the ones that were disciplined. Right? So, this is another thing to think about. But that's all, the Babylonian side of things rubbed off on us that we grew up in. You know? Go ahead, bro. And how much more fun is it if let's say if we went out once a month rather than if we went out once, you know what I'm saying? How much more fun would it be? It's like an event, like, oh, today's the day, going out there, it's the 15th, yo, okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're gonna feel better, right?
Yeah.
It's like, even like, that's what I would say if I would have a woman, I'll try to make it once a week, you don't have to always see each other, because then you get to miss each other.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll keep the relationship longer anyway.
That's right.
You just can't get a sex demon. Sex demon, you can't wait 2 minutes. But you weren't here. What do you expect me to do?
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what that leads to. But if you notice, a lot of relationships got fucking domestic when 2020 hit, because they were locked down. And they have to be amongst each other. Dude was slapping their girl upside the head, kicking him in the face,
Yeah.
So there's all kind of crazy shit going on, because you need to have fucking separation. Jacob had his own tent, man.
That's right.
Okay? Jacob had his own tent. Abraham had his own tent. Isaac had his own tent. Sarah had to go into the tent. He didn't wake up. Sarah's right there, fucking butt in the fucking air. No. Yeah. He was doing his own thing.
That's
man.
right. That's right.
If he called for her, that's when she came, man.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Did I send for you? Why have you here? Because even King David with Bathsheba came with Solomon. He's like, well, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? He gave me that spirit, you know? What the hell do you want? You know? Go ahead. Who's reading?
That was in the episode.
Okay, who's next?
If I'm not real quick, this YouTube video is about that.
Oh, yeah?
Couples that vlog and pretty much tried to stay with each other all day in the same house.
gosh.
It didn't work. Like at the beginning, it's a honeymoon. Like you have, you know. But then eventually, it's like, yo, you get annoyed, you know.
Get the hell away, man.
Yeah.
Why am I even dating this person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. But that showed you that naturally you're not supposed to be like
That's right.
all together all the time. You know.
That's what I told the brothers tonight. I got liberated from that. I ain't going back. I ain't going back. It's impossible, bro.
I mean, the apostle give us counsel not to, you know.
You wake up, she's there, you know.
What's your quote? Say what you're gonna say?
No, like the apostle, they give us counsel not to live with your woman.
Yeah.
If it's possible, have your own spot. I heard,
They always said that.
you know? That's spiritual, you know.
She's in a mood, she wants to throw a fit. You skedaddle. You know?
Yeah,
Go back to you, I'm going home, you know, call me when you come down, you know? But if she's there, shit, where you gonna go? You know? You can't go somewhere and you'll clear your head down, you know, you'll
Right. You need to clear your fucking head, bro.
You know, she's there yapping, you know, trying to sleep. Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That's why you have to, even in the C-19, you know, a lot of men will stay in their car, you know, before they go, you know, to get to catch a breather, so they know once they go back, you know what I'm saying? All type of yapping, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Quebec, you couldn't do that because they give you a fine for being outside.
Oh, yeah?
That's the, you don't remember the curfew?
Oh, the curfew. Okay.
Yeah, you couldn't be outside. So even them niggas out here couldn't do that.
Yes.
Oh, you got a piece of?
I was doing that.
Zabak, what you got?
I got Galatians, Galatians 6, and I'll start at 14. As for me, however, I will boast only about the cross of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. For by means of his cross, the world is dead to me. I am dead to the world. It does not matter at all whether or not one is circumcised. What does matter? Exactly. What does matter is being a new creature. As for
Yeah, the inward man.
Mhm.
Not about the outward stuff. It's the inward man that matters to God. What did he say about when they were looking for the king? He said, man, and the Most High doesn't see how man see it. He's looking at the spirit. That was a covenant to signify something in the flesh. But the spirit is what matters. Okay? You gotta be right. Your heart has to be circumcised. If you're circumcised and your heart is not circumcised, it means nothing to you, to him. All right? Go ahead.
As for those who follow this rule in their lives, may peace and mercy be with them and with all the Most High's people. To conclude, let no one give me any more trouble, because the scars I have on my body show that I am the slave of Yahushua.
The scars?
The scars.
Yeah, well, he went through a lot of shit. It was because he actually had literal scars.
Literal scars, yeah.
Yeah, he was beaten. He was beaten with the. He said it was beaten 39 times twice by the Jews, man. The hell, man! You think that was no soft shit? That was it was dripping skin. Like how they beat the slaves, with, you know. So he went and he's like, this is to prove.
Yeah.
This was for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man.
Wow.
You know? That's it on that.
Like these Christians, like they say, tell me your testimony. You know, in that time, Paul would just have to show them his back. There's no denying that he believes. The physical proof. You see?
They were saying this guy's a madman. Why you show me your back? What does that mean? What
What
does that mean? Jesus wouldn't do that.
I don't see the spirit.
Jesus wouldn't do that. Yeah. Fleshy.
Yeah,
Go
listen
ahead.
on that.
Yeah, son. This is Romans 13:13. Because we belong to the day, we must live.
Yeah, because these Christians don't think that you're supposed to suffer when you're in the truth.
No.
Showing you they don't understand this truth at all. And they're gonna be lined up to take the chip with the cross on their neck. You know? Go ahead.
Damn. Romans 13:13. Because we belong to the day, we must live decent lives for all to see. Don't participate in the darkness of wild parties and drunkenness, or in sexual promiscuity and immoral living, or in quarreling and jealousy. Instead, clothe yourself with the presence of the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and don't let yourself think about ways to indulge your evil desires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you gotta practice discipline.
That's it.
You know, you gotta practice discipline, man. You know? That's the thing. You know, every woman you see is not, you don't have to fucking lay with her. Just because she's ready to go. I know this world is fucked up. And, you know, you're so deprived that, you know, a chick touch your leg. You know?
You ready to bust move?
Yeah, I know she looked like a frog, but you know.
A frog, man.
And certain brothers try to justify it. You know? Somebody else my rib eye. No, I'm sorry. Hey, but it is what it is, man. Brothers be dealing with all kind of shit, bro.
Yep.
I know there's brothers out there still dealing with the end up with the long nails and the eyelashes. I guarantee it. I know it.
To the spirit.
Because, hey, brother, I'm telling you. Brothers just say all kind of stuff, you know, but the flesh, you know? And Jake is so deprived that Jake is just ready to accept whatever, man.
Whatever.
You know?
And that's not kingly minded.
That's right.
To accept anything. No, you gotta have standards.
Standards.
True. Very, very true. It's not like you said. It's not kingly minded. It's not.
Because
That's not a rulership mentality. See, a lot of Edomites don't think like that.
Oh no.
A lot of Edomites that be all time chicks throwing themselves like Esau. No, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
You know, because he has more of a ruler class mentality. Okay.
Self-esteem.
Yeah, and he's a PDF file too.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Matthew 7:13. Enter ye into the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction,
Yeah.
and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
That's it. Narrow is the gate, man, that lead to life. So that means it's difficult. That means there's discipline involved. Right? That means there's denying of the flesh involved in that. Yourself and your ego, all that BS. You know? Then you can make it through that.
Oh.
You see? Go ahead.
And it says here, Sirach 6 and
You know, it's crazy. Once you practice that discipline, you know, then you're free to indulge in those things. Once you've mastered that discipline, because you can't get caught up in that. It's like what's his name? I was watching a movie. There's a movie called Cadillac Records with these old school blues guys. You know, Muddy Waters, a man named Howlin' Wolf. These are old school blues legends. These are the people that pioneer rock and roll and stuff like that before Esau got a hold of it. Like the Rolling Stones, their name was they got their name Rolling Stones from one of Muddy Waters' songs.
Okay.
My father was a Rolling Stone, right? And they and basically Muddy Waters, you know, from Jake buying the Cadillacs and the fur coats and all that shit, and then Howlin' Wolf, he was like a guy that he liked to live a humble life. He didn't like to do all that shit, you know. So then Muddy Waters seen him. He said, "Yeah, yo, you looking, you know, you look like a, you know, you don't got no Cadillac and nothing. Look at the car you driving, you know. And then Howlin' Wolf said, yeah, but I own my car. My car does not own me. You know, they got cut.
Yeah.
Right? Because you know he couldn't control his pleasures and his lust, man.
Yeah.
See, I could control my pleasures and my lust, man. They don't control, it doesn't control me, man. That's what I mean when I say that, what I said before, man.
Wow.
You know? Go ahead, that's it on that? You got something?
Yeah, I'm going to try to tie it with what you said. Yeah. 1 Corinthians 2:15.
And we're going to get the last scripture.
But he that is spiritual judges all things,
Yeah,
yet he himself is judged of no man.
that's it. We'll break down, man.
Like if you're spiritual, you can master the lust and everything. So, like the quote that you said, you know, I'm trying to.
Yeah, you're free that you're free to do those things if you master discipline.
That's right. Thank
You
you.
know, and no one can't judge you for it.
Exactly.
No one can't judge you for it, man. You know, because that shit doesn't own you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You decide when you do it.
Right.
It's not your flesh deciding. You decide when, you know?
Yeah, you conquered it.
You
You
conquer.
can't. Yeah. Exactly.
You conquered, man. Like when your house was drinking wine, he didn't drink wine because he was a drunkard and he couldn't control his wine habit. Every time he touched the wine bottle,
No,
he
yeah.
you know? Say, Lord. What? Oh, he's just drinking shit. No. Yeah, he was in perfect, he had that control.
Yeah.
He had that perfect control, man. You know? That strength, that discipline, man. I'm gonna drink some yeah. Get my heart glad.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
It's about time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's right.
That don't mean he gonna fucking do it 2 days in a row after that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bro. That's necessary, bro.
It's necessary, bro. You know? You know, it's called balance. You know, and then you got, bro. What you got, brothers take the Nazarite vow. I mean, you know, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm gonna, you know, every now and then, but I'm gonna, you know, the Lord will, I'm gonna grab some yayan. You understand what I'm saying? You dig? You know, you have the bread. You was like, okay, I'm gonna eat. But you know, he conquered it. He went 40 days, 40 nights without food.
Wow. That's it.
And drinks. You know, he conquered it.
That's it.
I'm gonna get me some fish with a honeycomb.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
I want to taste the sweetness. I want to eat the, I want to nourish my body.
Mm-hmm.
So what? You know? That don't mean he was binge eating. Yo, you got another one of them Baba Kusha, you have another one of those fish? You know? One more honeycomb Baba Kusha. Let me get 2 malts with that. You know I always gotta throw that jab. You know? But nah, he knew how to control it, man. He conquered it, man. That's when it doesn't become wicked. That's when it doesn't become wicked. It's wicked when it's fucking controlling you.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And, lust. I forgot about lust. If someone who's completely controlled by lust, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do if they're completely controlled by lust? Oh shit. The better question is what are they not gonna do?
Yeah.
They're gonna do everything, man.
Mm-hmm.
Adultery is what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna go, oh, I ain't get no boxing and too much. Yo, she's hollering at me. Where's the man? She said she had a man, but she have no picture of him on the phone. Is it confirmed? There's no picture on the phone. What's his name? I think she was just saying that so I could want her more. See, these women, they play these games in spirit. I think she's single. I said, yo, but brother, there was size 12 Jordans at the door, wasn't there? No. Yeah, brother. Yeah, she has a brother. Yeah, you know? She has a son, but he's 6. He's 6 years old, brother. You're not gonna have 12 sons. When I was young, I had a growth spurt when I was in 6th grade. I had this growth spurt, you know? Because he can't control his damn lust.
That's right, that's right.
And then before you know it, he turns into the gorilla.
Oh,
Okay? That's why you gotta control your shit, man.
Tough Pegasus.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's floating somewhere.
That's why you gotta control your shit, man. Gotta get things in order.
Oh man.
And like I said, man, I always tell you guys about the 30 days, get that mastered, and then when you do certain things, you kind of feel defiled when you do it almost. You do it. Let's say if I don't drink, yeah, for 30 days. Now when I drink it, I kind of feel like I sinned. Shit, I kind of fucked up my added that shit in my body, yo. You had a fun time. I need to take a detox again. Right? Because now you controlled it. So anyways, man, that's it, man. Those have any last precepts you want to bring out?
No.
Okay, so with that, we're going to close up and give all the praise going on it.
To Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushua, Ba'Hashem, Akah, Kodash.
The Lord to the apostles and others who bring millstone salutations, much love and respect to Akim out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.